It's like Pac-Man plays Space Invaders, though there are no Space Invaders.
It's not a walkthrough, playthrough, review, anything like that. It's just me playing the game badly so you can see what it looks like.
Oh, okay, it started. This is Baby Pac-Man. I don't know what makes it Baby Pac-Man compared to just Pac-Man, but here we are. Playing this after, well, a load of other games, but before them I played that Pac-Man Championship Edition DX Plus, the game that rolls off the tongue like a crate of... They're not blue! They're meant to be blue! That's just lazy. Make your ghosts blue when they're edible. Oh! No. That's poor. Okay, so don't... Ooh, oh bollocks, that was my fault that time. Yeah, it only makes the noise... It makes a Space Invaders noise when Pac-Man's eating the pellets. Why Baby Pac-Man? I just don't... It's like Pac-Man plays Space Invaders, though there are no Space Invaders. Oh God. Not my fault! I'll blame my favourite controller of all time. Oh, okay, of course, Power Pill. Yeah, my favourite controller of all time, the Atari 2600 joypad. Oh, bollocks. I don't know. I mean, I've played... I have absolutely played worse Pac-Man. What? Did I die? I didn't see me die. I have played worse Pac-Man games, like Maze Eater on the VIC-20, but I always go back to that because that's the worst. It's the worst game I have ever played. But Pac-Man games where it actually says Pac-Man in the game title, I don't know, this one's a bit wrong really. It's not terrible, but the ghost should turn blue and it shouldn't sound like Space Invaders. It's like the person who programmed it went to an arcade, saw Pac-Man briefly, but the sound was down and all they could hear was the sound of the Space Invaders, like on the next cabinet across from them, and they thought this is how Pac-Man sounds. And it makes for a kind of weird and slightly wrong gaming experience. It's not terrible, but it ain't quite right. Okay, thank you for watching.
Today's question for Q&A is from Ian Hunter, link to his channel down there. He asks, "Hi Steve, hope you're both well." Yes, me and Mia both... No, you mean Isambard, don't you? No, Joe's fine, I'm fine, thank you. I was thinking, with the wealth of retro goodness we have to choose from today, would it bother you if Sony and Microsoft went bust tomorrow? I think I could still comfortably enjoy gaming. Thanks. So no Sony, no Microsoft, but still Nintendo. No sod that. If one of them's got to go, get rid of Nintendo. Uproar and outrage in the comments. Okay, well let's say all of the modern companies. Would I mind if they went bust? Yes, I would. It's safe to say I have enough games in my collection to probably have something new to play for the rest of my life. You know, something I haven't played or haven't completed or whatever. I have enough games, yes. But I do like seeing progress. I like seeing what's coming next, even if it doesn't always do it for me. I was really looking forward to VR, good VR. I mean, I've been playing with VR on Android phones for a few years, and it was like a taster it was like, this is just hinting at what will be possible soon. And then I got PSVR, and ignoring the technical limitations of it being a little bit fuzzy and the cables getting in the way and all that kind of crap, I don't like it. I'm fascinated by it. The technical aspect and the immersion fascinate me, and I like putting it on. That they haven't done what I want, I think, is part of the thing. I don't like it for playing games. It is so immersive. It takes too much of my attention. It's too much like hard work. It is hard work mentally, apart from the whole motion sickness thing. I'm so distracted by the, I don't know if it's the limitations or the realities of, or the functionality of the way VR works. It's not quite real enough to be real. You're largely in one spot, even if you're moving around in the game. You've got to get your head around controllers that you can't actually see and work out the ways that they work and the ways that you move yourself in the world and all of that while trying to play a game. And that just doesn't work for me. It's all a bit too much. So that aspect of the future of gaming for me at the moment, it's not there, and I'm like, I've got several VR games that I haven't even tried yet because it's just too much effort. Though I do like putting it on and playing non-VR games if I'm just walking around, because that's what I really want. I want to walk around. I want a walking simulator in super high definition mega VR that's just, yeah. But that's the thing. I like following the progress. It's the progress. I want new stuff. I'm fascinated by the history of gaming, and I want a big chunk of the history of gaming in here with me, and I think I've achieved that. Even some stuff that I consider to be junk. But I kind of thought I was done with PS4 for a while. I was like, Gran Turismo Sport wasn't doing it for me. I hadn't played anything that really grabbed me since Grand Theft Auto 5, and that came out on the PS3. And then it's like, hey, they're putting it on the PS5 as well. And I'm like, give us something new, for God's sake. And then they did, because I've been playing Days Gone, because it was a freebie on PlayStation Plus. So I thought, we'll give that a go, and I love it. And then I need to do a video on this one. I just got Cyberpunk 2077 because, well, the shops are open and they've dropped the price of it. There's no way I was paying 50 quid for it, and the patch seems to have fixed, the latest patch or patches seem to have fixed all the big problems, or if there are still big problems, I haven't run into them yet. There are things that I love about that game and things that I don't like about that game, but I really appreciate being able to play it, and it is one. I stuck on the VR headset yesterday while I was playing it, and my mind was blown by the visual gorgeousness of that city. And I say gorgeousness, I mean it was hideous, but it was so believable. I mean, I live in a town, I've lived in the country, I have been in cities, I've been in industrial parts of cities, and I just love stuff that visually has an impact. I mean, this comes from being into photography, and the city in that game has visual impact. It might be bits of it beautiful, probably. Certainly the kind of photography I do. It grabs me. And with the VR headset on, okay, it's not VR, but it's like playing a video game in a cinema. with the cinema screen as your screen. You know, it's immense, it's huge, it's big enough that the fact that it's not 3D doesn't really matter. It's immersive, you're in there. And it made me go, wow. And it's that progress, it's the technological advances that I want. I will always keep going back to Galaxian and Defender and Battlezone and Star Wars and Virtua Racing and all those games that you probably know that I love. I'll keep going back to them. And the Sega Superscalers and 3D Monster Maze and Jetpack. I will keep going back to them. But I want the new stuff as well. I want the stuff, the retro stuff. I will play a retro game for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then I'll move on and play something else. But the other night, it was pretty much actually the day before I bought Cyberpunk, I was playing Days Gone, and I played it for 6 hours straight without stopping. I didn't realise what the time was. I don't know what time. I finished playing at 3 AM. That's the kind of time I'm actually normally getting up to go to work in the week. And I was just going to bed because I was so engrossed in it. And I don't get that from a retro game. The last retro... The oldest game that could do that to me would be San Andreas on the PS2. You know, you go back any further back than that and nothing is going to hold me for that long. It needs to be an immersive world, and retro doesn't immerse you enough. It's got to be a believable, coherent world to hold my attention. Car alarm. Yeah, and they're getting more and more cohesive and expansive and gobsmacking. So I mean, Sony are getting kind of arrogant in their attitude at the moment. They go through phases of not giving a crap about the consumer, and then having Microsoft there. I don't like Microsoft. That may be changed, but certainly they used to be anti-competitive when they were so dominant with their operating system and all of that. But having them there as an alternative, every so often it's necessary to kick Sony back into line. You know, the consumers can say, look, you're taking the piss, you keep this up, we're going to Microsoft. Because we need Microsoft to offer a viable alternative. I don't want it, I don't want their product, but I do want them there offering a viable alternative to Sony, because Sony are just arrogant bastards. Nintendo, honestly, I just don't give a crap. I just don't. They don't do games that I like, and they haven't for a very, very long time. Shame, but anyway, that obviously they weren't part of the question. But it's, you know, again, you need competition. It's necessary. Now, I would be very sad to see them go. I will always go back to the retro stuff, but I need the modern stuff to hold my attention, to give me something I can waste a whole day on. And I like every now and then to waste a whole day on a game. And it's only ever going to be a modern thing. Yeah, okay. That's pretty much all I've got to say about that. They're pretty sparse content this week. I was going to do a stream on of Cyberpunk, because I've already streamed Days Gone, and I was going to stream Cyberpunk. But I think I'm going to struggle to do that, because there's an awful lot of like cut scenes. I mean, yes, they're real time, they're not pre-rendered or whatnot, but you know, the dialogue, the storyline, exposition, is that the word, whatever, which has a potential for copyright with the dialogue and all. And yes, you can skip through them, but I'm still playing it for the first time, and I want to know what they're talking about. I've got to do a review of it. I have thoughts on this game. I love it and I hate it. It could be so good, but my God, they annoy the shit out of me with certain things. expect that sometime soon. So I mean, I wasted a lot of time playing it where I wanted to stream but just couldn't bring myself to, and other reasons. I'll shut up. Stuff you I won't bore you with it. Going now. Probably had something else I wanted to say. Can't remember. Watch more stuff. Playlists. They exist on here somewhere. Thank you for watching.
You there, peasant. See that subscribe button? Be a good pleb and just click it. There's a good oik.